are you expecting any surprises on Monday sa State of the Nation address?
So, yes, for this Monday's SONA, mahalaga talaga itong ikatlong SONA ni BBM, no? Kumbaga dahil sa basketball, patapos na yung first half natin, no? So, at mukhang kailangan natin alamin yung mga bagong plays ng administrasyon BBM, no? Kasi if you will recall, yung first SONA ni BBM parang technocratic report lang, no? Kulang sa kwento, no? Parang walang soul, no? And then last year, nung second SONA niya, nag-ano siya, no? Binigay niya yung kanyang vision na so-called bagong Pilipinas, no? And of course, while he introduced the concept of bagong Pilipinas, medyo malamya pa yung naratibo dahil kulang pa, no? Kaya medyo malabo yung kwento na naihain sa atin kasi nga lalo nang lumabo ngayon because of the political brouhaha na nangyayari, no? So dahil nga naghiwalay, no, ang kanilang unity, no? So ang kanilang pinaka narrative, no, was unity, no? Pero ngayong nag-break up na yung unity, saan tayo dadalhin nitong unity to, no? And I think si kasamang Ronald ay naipaliwanag na niyan. Ang unity is not an ideology, no? It is an ideal, no? And now that we are facing several problems, no, and this was reflected, no, sa latest rounds of surveys, no, particularly the Pulse Asia, na talagang it's still bread and butter issue, particularly the very difficult solution of addressing runaway inflation. Mataas pa rin.
Nung nakaraang SONA, Prof, ay medyo may mga sharp at saka emotional attacks si President Bongbong sa mga cartels, sa mga hoarders, sa mga smugglers, no? Meron bang significant na nangyari dyan sa kanyang SONA na yan, yung second SONA niya, going into the third SONA dahil susukatin siya dyan eh? Right.
So, of course, bihira na natin makita ngayon sa balita yung yung lack of supply sa bigas, sa asukal, no, sa basic commodities, no. So perhaps na-address na nila yan, no, yung problema ng cartel, pero hindi pa lubusan dahil mataas pa rin ang presyo, no. So yan pa rin ang punot dulo ng problema niya, no. And in fact, itong patuloy na patuloy na dinabanggit ng publiko na issue, no, basic, no, runaway inflation, no, at lack of ng trabaho, low pay, no, the need for poverty reduction. Ito'y problema ito hindi lamang ng kasalukuyang administrasyon, no, kasi sa aking palagay, no, every administration ang unang inaasikaso ay ekonomiya, which is really a major concern of every administration assuming the presidency, no? Kaso ang problema, nauubusan sila palagi ng problema na i-address yung pinaka long-term solution ng mga problemang sa tingin nila ekonomiya. And this is essentially social reforms, no? Ang huling presidente na nagtulak ng tunay na social reform agenda ay si FDR pa, si President Ramos, no? And while there are certain social policy na inintroduce ang mga sumunod na presidente, na katulad nila GMA, nila Noynoy, hanggang kay Duterte, walang comprehensive social reform agenda. Bakit kamo? Kasi ang punot dulo pa rin nitong lahat ng issue na ito ay inequality, no? The growing gap between those who have and those who have not. Diba?
Okay, Prof, we're halfway in this administration, as you rightly pointed out, no? Siguro by now, more or less alam na natin kung what this administration is all about.
Right.
Based on what we're seeing, how would you describe this administration? What do you think are its priorities, or its what's the characteristic of this administration? I know it's easier to describe the previous one, pero ito, Prof, ano?
Okay. Kasi let us go back to 2022, no? the victory of Bongbong Marcos and the return of the Marcoses to power was brought about by two factors, no? Yung nostalgia, no, na kanilang pinakalat, no, through very sophisticated campaigns sa social media, no, nostalgia for the golden age of his father's regime, at yung continuity, no, kasi karamihan ng bumoto rin kay BBM noong 2022 ay inaakala na siya ay isang continuity candidate ni President Duterte, no? Kaso nitong mga nakaraang 2 taon, parang nag-iba ang kwento ni BBM. Hindi siya yung inaasahan na magiging continuity candidate. In fact, may mga domestic and foreign policy position siya na very divergent dun sa kay President Duterte. No? So yan ang naging posisyon ngayon ni at yan din ang naging dahilan dahil sa pagkakawatak ng kanilang unity, no? So ngayon parang lumalabo, no, doon sa mga dating sumuporta sa kanya na mga supporters din ni Duterte. At ngayon, parang mas lumalapit pa yung mga policy positions niya doon sa mga anti-Marcos oppositionists, no? So ngayon, nandito tayo sa punto na may describe natin na fuzzy narrative, no? Parang fuzzy narrative, no? Kasi inaakala ng karamihan magiging katulad siya ni Tatay Digong at ng tatay niya, pero yung mga position na kanyang tinahak nitong mga nakaraang 2 taon ay kakaiba, no? Doon sa posisyon ng tatay niya. At kumbaga, palagi ko sinasabi pag may kumakausap sa akin, no? President BBM is emulating the early Marcos, no? An early version of his father. Democratically elected, cold warrior at pro-US. At hindi ito yung inaasahan ng mga Duterte supporters para sa kanya. Ngayon, pagkakataon niya sa SONA, pagkakataon din sa midterm elections, at pagkakataon sa remaining half ng kanyang term to clarify that fuzzy narrative. Will he be his own man? No? Will he be his own, kumbaga, will he give us his own presidential narrative? No? At kumbaga, nandiyan yun eh. Yung bagong Pilipinas has the potential of becoming a development vision, no? At kung magtatagumpay siya na ilatag, no, simula po sa Lunes, no, sa kanyang State of the Nation, kung ano yung concrete na kanyang mga policies na tatahakin sa remainder of his terms, no, para i-address itong mga bread and butter issue of kumbaga accountability, issue of human rights, no? At pinaka-importante sa lahat, paano niya proprotektahan ng ating soberenya sa West Philippines Sea.
Nabanggit mo, Prof, na itong...
Paano yan? Paano yan kung ano, ang messaging ng unity has always been unity, and you know, a united country is always essential kung ikaw ang leader ng bansa eh.
Precisely.
Pero paano, we're talking about continuity. Hindi na continuity ngayon eh, it's disunity. Yung mga Duterte are asking for his resignation.
Precisely.
Paano magiging messaging yan? Paano niyang ma-finish on in the SONA? It's a report to the nation. He is calling on people to work. I'm sure hindi mawawala yung message na yan eh. You have to call on Filipinos to work together to advance my legislative agenda, my governance agenda. Paano, how can he work around this problem na yung vice presidente niya hindi attend ng SONA niya, manonood lang daw ng TV, if ever.
Yun nga, no? Kaya nga, ito yung isang pagkakataon para ipakita niya, no, na pwede siyang mag-reach out dun sa mga ibang sektor, sa mga ibang grupo na hindi kasama dun sa kanyang koalisyon, no? Kumbaga, this is a perfect opportunity for him to actually pursue yung totoong unity, no? And one of the dito ay yung pag-reach out, no, sa other mainstream opposition leaders, perhaps, no, not necessarily to form a formal coalition, but to, at least come out with a consensus on how to address these pressing problems of the day, no. Actually, yung mga crisis, no, is also a perfect opportunity to rally behind the flag, no. And this is a perfect opportunity for him to prove that he can still unite the country despite what happened to his original coalition. Kasi kaya naman tumiwalag din yung mga Dutertes dahil akala nga nila ay continuity nung kanilang style of leadership itong si BBM.
Professor, you did mention just a while back that it's ironic na
Yes.
there seems to be more common ground. I think you mentioned this with what was anti-Marcos opposition. Di ba?
Yes,
Parang
yun
mas
nga
pareho na sila
Di ba?
ngayon.
And I
So,
think
Sabi nga ni Bobby Tiglao ay Aquino 2.0.
Ganon. To put it more bluntly. So, there's I don't know, realignment is a very cliche word. Medyo cliche siya, pero that's what we're seeing, Prof. Isn't it?
yun nga no. So we are kumbaga
Ibang unity, sabi nga nila.
Oh, pero Prof, ang pinag-aawayan kasi na continuity ay hindi ideological or political continuity eh. Ang pinag-aawayan na continuity ay parang yung promisa ni BBM na ang successor niya ay si Sara Duterte. At mukhang hindi
Yes.
nangyari this past 2 years. Yun yung issue
Yes.
ng continuity na pinagtatalunan. Di ba?
Tama. Correct ka dyan, Ronald, no? But that's from the elite level, yung elite negotiation ng mga elite players, yung mga politiko, no? Pero from the
Policy.
perspective of their followers, lalong-lalo na yung mga diehard Duterte supporters, no? Kaya nila binoto si BBM, akala nila itutuloy ni BBM yung mga policies ni Tatay Digong. Kaso hindi nga. Nag-align pa yung mga policies ni ni BBM sa mga dilaw, sa mga pinklawan, no? So, yun nga, kaya yun yung tinatawag kong fuzzy, no? Fuzzy narrative, no? Na kailangan iklaro na ito ba talaga ang commitment ng administrasyon niya. Kumbaga, maintain at least the opening of our democratic space, reorientation of the war on drugs, no? And taking a tough stance on protecting our sovereignty from
Pero Prof, you're talking about the possibility of unity with the classical, so-called classical opposition. But is there any value in talking about reconciling or again unifying with the 21% according to Okta na Duterte faction, Duterte voters?
Okay. Ang sa akin nga ay mas mahalaga pa para kay BBM na mag-reconcile sa mga yellows rather than mag-reconcile with the Duterte.
Because Prof, just to follow that up, Prof, I think it has to be pointed out na walang nangyaring continuity. In fact, para on key issues and key policy issues like West Philippine Sea,
Right.
insurgency,
Drugs.
counterinsurgency, di ba?
Tokhang,
The drug war.
Drugs.
And
The
even,
release of Laila de Lima.
yeah, okay, siguro minor pa nga yan, pero when we talk about policy, for example,
Parmali.
well, those are incidents, no? But I think it has to be pointed out, for example, another key policy is that the previous administration was very anti-business or anti-big business. We're seeing this
Right.
administration be very friendly to big business, right? So on those
Right.
4 points, kahit sabihin natin walang unity with the Dilaws,
Hindi naman anti-business yung previous administration.
they were.
They
Remember,
were anti-big certain businesses.
well, yeah, Bok, that's what I meant. Like there was a lot of rhetoric against the oligarchs, the so-called oligarchs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the oligarchs were identified as a certain group of big businessmen.
ABS-CBN.
Yeah, but
He had
let's
his
face
own
it.
oligarchs.
There you go.
Right.
Huh?
Yeah, he
No,
had his own
But we have
oligarchs.
to remember,
He has his own set
it
of
was not just the
oligarchs,
Lopez's.
diba?
It was
Yeah.
every big businessman. They were for I think for the first time they felt out of the loop in the administration, the previous administration. Unlike now, we're seeing a very active private sector advisory council, for example.
Right.
Some of these big businessmen
Right.
count as close friends of the president, whereas the previous president was all the way far back in Davao, you know, he was an outsider. Walang network yan dito sa Metro Manila. No network, no connection, no degree of separation from all these big businessmen. I'm not going to use the word oligarch, no? Pero ganon.
Yes.
So,
So I agree, no? I agree, Patrick, that yes, this president has a much closer feel, no, to what our country's business leaders have in mind, no, and are pursuing, no. So I think, no, in order to pursue true unity, we must have true reconciliation, not only among our political factions, but also within the different sectors of our society, no? From the business people to our workers, to our farmers, etc. So we should really come out with our own another vision. Or it can be Bagong Pilipinas, but it should be based on a real developmental vision, no? That will benefit everyone, no? And it should be based on reconciliation, no? And of course, this is a difficult topic to talk about. But the reason why we are here was because we never went through that process of transitional justice. No? Yung katulad sa ibang bansa na dumaan sa mga ganitong klaseng hidwaan in the past, no? Whether civil war or authoritarianism, no? Hindi nagkaroon ng reckoning. So, like for example in South Africa. So, it's impossible to demand that at this point. But at least come out with a process by which all sectors, all different political factions, and this should have been done at the early part of his administration, really to come out and try to have a national reconciliation policy.
okay.
On another topic, Prof, yung very controversial Chacha nitong nakaraang
Yan.
2 taon, no?
Yes.
Dahil
Yes.
yan ba ay tingin mo magkakaroon ba ng panibagong push si PBBM at yung kanyang allies dito sa kanyang SONA and beyond? Dahil yung sinasabi mo kaninang problema ng ating gobyerno ay kakulangan sa mga social at saka economic reforms framework na very
Right.
strategic, very long term.
Right.
At yun
Yeah.
yung ina-address nitong
Right.
usapin sa Chacha na malamang itong political component ng Chacha, bagamat ang kanilang propaganda economic, ay i-lift yung term extension. Dahil yung binabanggit mo na mga reforms
Right.
ay parang hindi kaya within one term, no? Yan ba ay lalamanin ng Bagong Pilipinas? Dahil kung yung Bagong Pilipinas ay ideological, then wala sila magagawa in the next 3 years. At
Right.
ididikit nila yan sa possible charter change. Pero alam naman natin na very divisive ang usapin ng Chacha. Yan ba at
Right.
tingin mo in the next 3 years ay tutulak ng gobyerno at ni President Bongbong?
Okay. So, again, no, that's the paradox of Chacha in our recent political history, no. Several presidents have attempted to push, no. Some are even strong presidents like Duterte, no, trying to push it despite the fact that malakas siya, no, hindi pa rin pumasaya, no. At ito ay kadahilanan na meron tinatawag na constitutional trauma, no. For one reason or the other, no, yung publiko, no, they resist all attempts, no, at Chacha, no. Despite the fact na kahit kontrolado ng mga politiko, no, ng mga kongresista ang pagpamumudmud ng ayuda, meron pa ring strong resistance every time na sinasurvey sila kung approve sila sa pagtutulak ng Chacha, no. So ang problema kasi nga it's constitutional reforms from above, Chacha from above, no. At hindi pala ito totoong Chacha na kumbaga charter change na dapat from below nagsisimula, no. At suportado ng mga tao. So at ang bottom line natin dito, walang tiwala ang tao sa mga nagtutulak ng Chacha. So, while given na maraming kailangan repasuhin sa ating konstitusyon, maraming kailangan baguhin, no? May mga political reforms na kailangan tayong ilagay dyan. Yung anti-dynasty, no? Yung political party strengthening, yung pag-ayos sa ating eleksyon, etc. Hindi mabuksan-buksan dahil nga palaging may resistance. And it's a question of legitimacy, no? walang tiwala ang tao sa mga nagtutulak ng tsa-tsa. So,
Professor, dead ball na yan, chacha mo, dyan lang sa anti-political dynasty, wala na mangyayari dyan.
correct. So, yun nga, no? Yun nga ang problema, no? Wala talagang mangyayari, no? Pero, this doesn't mean na hindi nila...
Professor, I talked to, just for your information, I talked with Chis Escudero recently. I
Yes.
asked him about charter change, kasi wala nga nangyari, di ba?
Right.
Throughout, sabi, ihahabol daw for the SONA, wala nangyari. I asked him about it recently. Sabi niya, it's down.
Oo.
Dead. But anyway, ang tanong ko sa inyo, Professor, yung bilang bagong Pilipinas, you've been mentioning it several times. Do you actually understand kung ano ibig sabihin nun? Kasi ako hanggang ngayon, I've been trying to find out. Ano ba, what does it stand for? Even the song, I'm not familiar with the song. Ano ba, what does it stand for?
Again, no, yung bagong Pilipinas is simply borrowing from the playbook of his father.
Bagong
It
lipunan.
was
Bagong lipunan.
really the slogan of bagong lipunan. Di ba?
Bagong,
Oo. So it's just
Bigong Pilipinas.
borrowing from the playbook of his father. Kailangan mo ng parang national slogan, no, which eventually might evolve into a national ideology, no. So remember nung kabataan natin, no, bagong lipunan became the Filipino ideology, so-called, no. So ganun yung agenda nila,
This
no.
is,
So
Professor-
while balik tayo doon sa Chacha at doon sa sabi ni Ronald kung itutulak at hindi, siguradong itutulak yan. Pero based on previous attempts, no, patay ang any attempt to push for Chacha pag inabot ka na ng midterms, di ba? Kasi
yes.
naghahanda na yung mga politiko kung kanino sila tatalon next, di ba? So karamihan dyan, sumaside bet na sa mga Tulfo brothers. So malabo nang maitulak yan, no? And despite the fact na nagpapamudmud pa rin ng mga ayuda, no? Hindi pa rin tumataas ang rating ng speaker, no? So malabo na yan. Malabo na yan. So ang only na lang dito, solution nila, katulad din ng ginawa ng Liberal Party nung panahon ni Noynoy. Iaasa sana nila na dun sa next administration ay yellow pa rin. Hindi, akala nila kasi mananalo na si Mar, no? Kaso hindi, no? So ang only solution talaga nila is to come out
Ronald,
Paliwanag ka, Ronald, tama ba?
with a strong candidate for 2028 that will continue bagong Pilipinas for them. Di ba?
Tama ba yun, Ronald?
comment, Ronald.
The whole idea na no charter change, because in fairness, they never pushed for charter change during the time of Pinoy, pero the idea was a combination of 6-6. Parang,
Lahat
ang
naman,
rinig ko ngayon, parang 18 years na ata.
hindi, narinig ko rin yun.
Yung 18 years, hindi
Narinig ko
lang
rin
2
yun.
terms, 3 terms yun.
Narinig ko rin yun.
Narinig
no?
mo rin yan. Sa'yo ka ata narinig yan. So, yeah, so ganon.
Hindi, lahat naman ng gobyerno may self-delusion ng continuity until hindi siya mangyari, no? Kaya even yung Duterte may ganung delusion, even GMA na napaka-unpopular may ganung delusion.
Si Marcos din.
No? So lahat naman may ganung delusion Kaya pero yung contours para yun ay magkaroon ng wherewithal ay kulang. No? Yun yung halimbawa, yung sinasabi ni Professor na itong bagong Pilipinas, laging binabanggit kasi ni Bongbong na ito ay ideological. Siguro yung pinanggalingan niya ideological, yung mga bagong lipunan, Filipino ideology. Pero sabi nga ni Ami, kahit itong bagong Pilipinas, wala naman tayong makita na anything ideological.
Ako, I
Diba?
cannot understand.
Maliban dun sa slogan. No? Kaya tingin ko magkakaproblema yan as a political narrative.
And there lies the challenge nga for this administration dahil nga fuzzy yung narrative nila, hindi malinaw kung ano yung bagong Pilipinas, no? And so that's the challenge for this administration.
Do we actually want a more concrete ideology or narrative from this administration on things like that, from any administration? Kasi what the danger there, Prof, is that baka talaga mag-isip ng beyond 6 years pag ganyan. Kasi alam mo naman, bagong lipunan, that the project was like that lasted short of 20 years or
21
something like
years.
that.
Okay.
Oh. So there.
Ako naman, I'm hopeful, no, that BBM himself will remain within the 6-year term limit, no. Ang sa akin lang kasi ang tingin ko sa kanya talaga what he's doing is what I call the politics of redemption, no? Gusto lang talaga niyang i-redeem yung pangalan ng ama
Tama.
niya at ang Marcos brand. And
Bahala na
kaya
kayo.
inahanda na rin niya yung susunod sa mga susunod sa kanya.
Bahala na kayo
So
sa
maybe-
iba.
O yan na lang, how
Maybe,
is he
Professor,
doing?
that's their narrative.
Yan, sa ganyan, Professor, how is he doing
Yes.
dyan sa rehabilitation ng Marcos image? Kasi so
Well,
far, meron na tayong Kadiwa, Maharlika, ano pa yun, kung ano-ano lahat na
Yung 25 pesos sa bigas,
No.
yung 29.
Ano, what do you think?
Well, beyond that, no, beyond the politics din of nostalgia, no, yung trying to
Right.
bring back memories of the bagong lipunan era. I think meron namang traction din yung kasi nga yung kanyang mga policies na hindi inasahan sa kanya, no. Na even some of the staunch anti-Marcos oppositionists agree, no? So may common ground may nabubuong common ground, and that is an opportunity moving forward for the country, no? Kung nagkaroon ng ganung klaseng common ground that can be further developed into a developing consensus for a real unity and reconciliation based on justice pa rin, syempre. So kailangan talaga may ganung proseso.
Medyo mayroong kulang sa atin, Professor. Yung mga bansa na nag-develop in their political system at saka economic system, usually meron niyang social pact between
Precisely.
modernizing section of the elites and a strong civil society and a fulcrum in between. Parang yung mga components
Parang Ronald, parang hindi...
parang yung mga components na yun, wala rito
Parang Ronald, dahil makasingit lang, kasi if you study the region,
Yeah.
they've all democratized, but there was a time, it's not so much a strong civil society, it's a strong man.
Well,
Everywhere in the region,
well,
there's a strong man. I think dito lang, Prof, hindi umubra.
Well, sa Korea kasi, sa Japan, no?
Strong man.
Hindi lang strong man, may strong civil society na yung, halimbawa, sa Japan, yung kanilang modernizing elite at saka yung kanilang trade unions, nagdesisyon na ito yung direksyon ng bansa. Ganon din sa Korea. Strong trade unions at saka yung kanilang mga
The
chaebols.
Japanese
Yung chaebols.
Liberal Party
Yun yung-
ruled for decades and decades.
Yes, ang problema
A
natin,
practical one-party system.
wala tayong modernizing elite. Yun yung
Correct.
problema, no? Yung ating elites is more carpetbaggers Quick money, rent seeking, no? Yun yung nagiging
Yan yung
Walang
ano, no?
napaparusahan.
Yan yung palaging
Walang
sinasabi.
napaparusahan.
Walang napaparusahan. Yan yung
Yeah,
palaging
Professor,
sinasabi.
you're talking about transitional justice. You think it's possible under this administration? yung hinahabol natin hidden wealth, nag-birthday party sa Malacanang. How can you talk about transitional justice?
Sabi ko nga, tapos na yun. That ship has sailed, di ba? Pero,
And that she is convicted, she's out on bail. How can that be?
Oo nga, yeah.
Iniisip mo yan di ba? Sa mga tao nakikita yan Bakit ganon? Merong ninakaw na kayamanan. Walang na-convict na nagnakaw ng kayamanan. Bakit ganon? I mean, you're talking
Hanggang-
about transitional
hanggang ngayon, wala pa rin daw
Napakahirap
ninakaw.
I-reconcile niyan.
Okay.
Professor?
Ganito yan i-reconcile. Kasi nga, alam natin yun. Kaso, binoto siya ng 31 million. So, sabi nga ni Manolo Quezon, election is absolution, di ba? So, yun ang problema, di ba? So, we are where we are right now. So, how do we move forward? Then, the transitional justice, tapos na yun. That should have happened a long time ago. But, that doesn't stop this administration and the opposition to move forward, right? Hindi yung forgive and forget, no? Kailangan pag-usapan pa rin. At kung may common ground, this common ground can be used, no, to process it into, kumbaga, something that nabanggit ang Korea. Remember, yung daughter ni Park Chung-hee, no? Naghumingi ng patawad bago siya nahalal na presidente. Nanalo siya, si Park Geun-hye. Kaso na
And then she
people
went
power
to
din siya.
jail.
Oo, na people power din siya. Yun ang wala sa atin, no? Kasi halos lahat na naging presidente ng South Korea in recent years, lahat nakulong.
Nakulong. Oo. Yeah.
Pero hindi naman natin sinasabi na dapat itong administrasyon na ito doon patungo. Let's not make it into a self-fulfilling prophecy. Kasi nga, perhaps ang political motivation niya is redemption, no? Kaya pag Kasi pag tinulak natin at tinulak towards that direction, baka nga maging ganon, no? Pero habang ngayon na medyo nagli-lean siya towards more, kumbaga, for lack of better term, liberal politics, no? Let's encourage him, di ba?
Okay. So, si Erap naman nakulong, tapos si Steve
Hindi
nakulong
na
for a
ako
while.
makasar.
Sinusunod.
Tapos si Digong baka makulong.
Ikaw nagsabi, hindi ako
On a different note, Professor, mukhang
Yes.
yung mga kaibigan mo sa Maysug, may planong malaking rally bukas.
Yes.
Going into the SONA. Magsisimula
Oo.
sila sa EDSA Shrine na symbol
Right.
ng mga dilaw bukas ng alas 2. Tapos mamarcha sila sa Liwasang Bonifacio na simbolo ng mga kaliwa. Tapos kung
Right.
lalaki sila, balak nilang magmarcha papuntang Malacanang
Na simbolo
Right.
ng,
Oo.
yun na yun.
ng continuity.
ng continuity. ng unity.
Kasi-
unity.
Kung yung isa, politics of redemption, sa kanila kasi politics of survival. Malapit na rin sila, di ba? So, so yun naman ang kanila, no? So, talagang ganyan, no? At, kumbaga, sabi nga ni Napoleon Bonaparte, no? Di ba? Ano ba yung sabi ni Napoleon
Don't disturb your
Bonaparte?
enemies when
Do
they're
not
making a
disturb
mistake.
your enemies while they're making a mistake. Di ba?
Okay, with that, maraming salamat. Political analyst, Professor Julio Tehanqui. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Professor.
Thank you.